My name is Dr. David Carey-Jones, and I want to talk to you in this video about some of the opportunities that we have in the Department of History and Welsh History at Aberystwy University for MA and postgraduate study. There's lots of reasons why you might choose to enroll on one of our MA programs and to study history at postgraduate level. Perhaps you've really enjoyed your 3-year undergraduate degree, and hopefully that's fired you up to be passionate about the study of the past and perhaps a particular period within the past, or a particular theme or a particular subject, and you want to study that in still greater depth. Well, an MA can be a terrific place in which to do that. Perhaps you were thinking of taking your history studies even further, and ultimately choosing staying on and doing a PhD, a doctorate. Well, again, an MA is important preparation for further study at PhD level. Or maybe you have in mind a career that has a particular historical angle to it. Maybe you want to go into work for a heritage-related employer in due course. Well, again, our MA courses are ideal for providing you with that greater depth of historical study, and also they give you plenty of opportunity to develop your skills that much further so that you are then able to transfer them effectively to whatever career options you choose when you finish studying with us. Why an MA in Aberystwy? Why choose Aberystwy to do your postgraduate study? Well, I'd point to the fact that we have a really wide range of MA courses for you to study. We're a diverse department with lots of different period, nation, specialisms, and that enables us then to offer a diverse selection of MA modules, which I'll talk about in just a moment or two. All of our MAs combine core skills, methodological related modules with also other more period specific historical modules as well. And so you can bring all of these together within an MA at Aberystwy to create your own bespoke course, and a course that really reflects your own interests. And of course you'll be tapping into the great research environment that we have at Aberystwy. You'll become a part of the research expertise, research activity within the department, particularly as you begin to work on your MA dissertation in conjunction with a member of the department as well. And Aberystwy, of course, has unrivaled research opportunities. We're unusual in the fact that we have the National Library of Wales on our doorstep, one of only 5 copyright libraries in the whole of the UK. And that really means that you have resources on your doorstep here in Aberystwy which are the rival of any university really in the country. If you have already graduated as well from Aberystwy, if you've done your undergraduate degree with us, then there is an additional financial incentive to stay in Aber, and that is that all Aber graduates qualify for the Aber-Grad scholarship, which means that you have 10% off your fees. And if you have gained a first-class degree with us, then you get a further 10% off those fees, making 20% discount in all. So the Aber-Grad scholarship can make a real major financial difference and can be an important factor in helping people to decide where to do their MA studies. As I mentioned, we have at the present time 4 different MA pathways that you can choose, reflecting some of the specialisms within the department. I'll just talk a little bit about each of these to introduce them briefly to you. The first of them is our MA in Medieval Britain and Europe, and that allows you to really delve in depth on the history of both Britain and more broadly Europe in the medieval period. We cover the whole period from early medieval right through to the dawn of the early modern period in the 16th century. The core module for the course focuses on England in the long 13th century, and then there are a whole series of optional modules in various aspects of medieval history as well. This particular pathway has a language element to it, and there's a compulsory modules that you can take to help you to learn beginner's Latin and to help you with basic palaeographical and manuscript skills too. Our most popular MA course is the MA in Modern History, and this course, this MA, defines modern history in fairly broad terms. Whilst much of the focus is on the 19th and 20th century, there are modules as well that stretch the narrative back into the later part of the early modern period as well. So there's a core module which introduces you to some of the key themes of modern history, and then a series of optional modules on different aspects of modern history as well. The earliest chronologically being that on the British Atlantic world in the long 18th century. We have other modules on the Second World War, on science, place and Victorian culture. We have a new module coming on stream on Southeast Asia and other things as well. Our MA in History and Heritage is our course that introduces you to some of the theoretical themes and concerns that are relevant to the heritage industry. And this is a really good MA for those who would like ultimately to go on and work in one aspect or other of the heritage industry. At the heart of this module is a compulsory Working with History course, and as part of that you will have the opportunity to follow a work placement, and this is designed to give you a really good insight into some of the concerns necessary, some of the key considerations necessary when working in the heritage industry. A final course, and one that's really unique to us here in Aberystwy, is the MA in the History of Wales. We are the Department of History and Welsh History, and we are the preeminent place really in the world at which to study the history of Wales. You can do this MA in English or in Welsh, and it aims to give you an excellent introduction to various aspects of the history of Wales, allowing you then to specialise within whichever period you are particularly interested in. We have an introductory module again that looks at the creation of Welsh history and how Welsh history has been studied and taught, particularly in the 20th century, and then a series of modules starting with Gerald of Wales, looking at medieval Wales and medieval Welsh culture, through to the Atlantic world and Wales's place within it, and also then modules on the 18th century and class and community in Wales and the 19th and early 20th centuries too. So those four pathways are our main MA modules, and each of them give you the scope to specialise in those aspects of history that you are most interested in. The MA is taught very differently to an undergraduate degree, and for most students the big difference is the lack of lectures. The MA is taught exclusively through small group seminars, and most of the modules, particularly the option modules, are small classes, perhaps 5, 6, 7, 8 people in a class, 2-hour weekly seminars for each of those. And those individual classes focus in depth on reading and studying primary sources and discussing historiographical issues. There are no exams as part of the MA either. Assessment is based solely on essays, and those essays can be designed really to suit the particular interest that you might have. So we are very keen that you study the things that you are most passionate about in the various modules that you choose during your MA. It's less about what we make you study and more about following your own interests and developing them alongside various lecturers in the department. Half of the module, half of the MA, of course, is based upon the dissertation. And this is your opportunity then to write your own piece of history. The MA dissertation should be 15,000 words in length, and you will be assigned a mentor and a supervisor in the department to help you to develop a subject, a topic to look at, to help you to find and locate and read and interpret your primary sources, and to guide you in the various historiographical schools that are relevant for your study. This dissertation then is a real step up from the dissertations you may have done at an undergraduate level, but again it's a real opportunity for you to write your own, make your own contribution to the study of history. For many people, the MA dissertation can be a trial run for research that they want to go on and develop at doctoral level as well. So the MA in history at Aberystwy is a bespoke series of courses tailored to your own interests, and that enables you to emerge from that course as a historian with sophisticated critical skills that enable you to go on and study the past in still greater depth, or indeed prepares you for your career choices and provides you with excellent transferable skills for whatever you choose to do next. Applying for an MA at Aberystwy is relatively simple. There's an online admissions portal at the Postgraduate Admissions webpage, and you can see the link there on the PowerPoint. The entry requirement for MA study is a good honours undergraduate degree. So we usually ask for at least a 2-1, although there can be some flexibility in that entry requirement. If you haven't done a first degree, then that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't get access to the MA. You may have acquired considerable experience in other fields that really equip you for advanced historical study. And in order for us to make a judgment on whether you are suited then for MA study, the application requires you to write a personal statement and to provide at least one referee, ideally an academic referee. And those elements are used by us in the department to assess your application and to decide whether to offer you a place. There's no formal deadline for the application process. You can apply at any time up until the commencement of the course in late September. So we're accepting applications right now, and if you do apply, then I can assure you that you'll get a speedy decision on whether we can offer you a place or not. Our MA programs here in Aberystwy have expanded significantly in recent years. We currently take in at least 30 MA students a year, so you'll be, by applying to the course, you'll be part of a large MA cohort, and that provides all of the necessary academic stimulation that makes an MA with us a particularly rewarding experience. I hope that's given you a flavour for our MA programmes here in the Department of History and Welsh History in Aberystwy. If you would like to know a little bit more, or if you'd like to have a conversation about MA study, then do feel free to contact me on the email that's provided there, and I'd be happy to meet you to discuss anything about the MA in a little more detail.